Okay, so I'm gonna do a room tour of where I've been living for the past 2 years. So starting with the front door, this is the place where I get letters, more often for my landlady than for myself. And coming along here, we have the place where I store my bike. I use the bike for basically any errand around the city. So going to and from school, going to the hospital, etc. And so my bike was actually one of my first purchases here in France, and I'm really happy about it, especially about the color, and you'll see why in a bit. So I bought this waterproof cover for it because it rains a lot here, and also the water here is quite I think the term is basic. So it's bad if it gets into locks and metals and stuff. I'm very happy because it's yellow. I call it 小黄. Yeah, I'm probably gonna donate this to the secondhand bike shop where I first purchased it. I update on my child. I really adore this bike, so it's my firstborn child at this point. Luckily, I met with the new tenant who is willing to buy this bike off of me, so I can give her like the bike, the cover, the lights, the lock, everything. So yeah, I'm happy about that. My firstborn child has a new home. It's really hard to do this with one hand. Okay, so walking along here, we have the front door, and then we walk here, and this is my landlady's house. That's my room. She has a gigantic home, but then she only rents out that room for Here's my gigantic batch of keys. It has my house key, my bike lock key, the key for the letterbox. This is like an electric chip to get through the front door, etc. Anyway, here's the kitchen. This is my impromptu standing desk, working, eating area, bathroom, pantry. I did the dishes last night and I don't have the, I don't know what you call it, a strainer? No, the thing where you can put your plates upright so the water can flow down. Yeah, I don't have one of those. So what I do is I just lay things out like this, and usually by the morning the water is gone. Okay, this is probably a familiar angle that I commonly use to film with. But what I wanted to share was that the kitchen counter is quite tall. It's taller than the ones in China. And what that means is that since it's above waist level for me, I can cook things and chop things and do stuff on the counter without having to bend over too much. And the other good thing is I use the kitchen sink often, not often, exclusively to wash my hair. And it started in the first year when it was too cold to wash your entire body, get your entire body wet in the shower, and then run to bed. So I didn't do that. I figured out a way to do it separately. So I would just wash my body in the shower, and then maybe later, maybe on another day, I would just wash my hair in the sink. And it's also the reason why I have shampoo and conditioner right beside the kitchen sink. Yeah. So here's where I've washed my hair for the last 2 years. So beside the kitchen area is where I sit to work and eat and basically do everything when I'm not in bed or at campus or whatever. And the reason for that is because the entire house has pretty bad insulation, and so in the winter time it gets really cold and the room doesn't trap heat very well. Right beside me is one of the only built-in wall gas heaters in the two rooms that I have. And so when I close all the doors, this room is small enough to not be too cold. And so I sit here, I have shit laid out to eat here and to work here and yeah, other stuff. Here's the bathroom. It's not barren, it's minimalist, let's say. So we have the shower here, which is like just one rectangle that has no space to put anything else. The toilet is over here, and here's how it flushes. Okay, it's thinking. There's also this thing. That's kind of cool. Yeah. Okay, here we have the pantry, and here is the door leading into the bedroom. Oh. So, the bed. It's very big and it's very comfortable, which is good because when I sleep, I tend to like sleep completely spread out, spread eagle, like 大字型睡觉. The pillows here make no sense to me. So this is a pillowcase that I brought from China to here, and it is the shape that you might expect. It's a rectangle, right? The pillows here and the local pillowcases are all squares. Is when I sleep, I gather it down on one side like this, and then I fold it over so it becomes a rectangle. And as far as I know, nobody else here prefers the square shape. They all fold their pillows. Yeah, the pillow shape makes no sense to me. Here I have a bear that I brought with me from Shanghai to here. It smells like strawberry. It's been like 2-3 years now, so whatever chemical they put into this fabric is very powerful and it still works. My mother's colleague gifted this to me, and I had it with me during a difficult time in my life, so I thought it would be good to also have it with me when I moved to France. And also, it's the only teddy bear I've owned in my life. Okay, so on this side, we first have, this is a hot water bottle that I thankfully not had to use this year because my mother actually forced me to buy a heated mattress for the bed because it was just too fucking cold here in the winter, and also like the majority of the year. I tend to get cold easily, my extremities tend to freeze, and they take forever to heat up, which means that at night it takes forever for me to fall asleep if I'm too cold. Okay, I just have a bunch of origami foxes. I learned to fold them for an internship, and I've just never parted with them ever since, and I've had nowhere to store them, so they're just beside my bed for now. Also, we have an eye mask that I stole from a plane. It's good for when I have to take naps, which I do when I can. I don't know if you can see this. I have a knife beside my bed. Like my first weeks of living here, I was paranoid that people would break in, so to make me feel more assured, I kept a knife beside my bed, and I've thankfully, or obviously, never had to use it. But yeah, it reassured me in the first weeks, and after that I've just never put it back. So this knife has been beside my bed for the entire 2 years that I've lived here. Oh, here's another thing that makes no sense to me. So this bedside table is actually one of those storage barrels, in that it doesn't open normally. It opens like this, So whenever you have to get anything on the inside, you have to like take everything from the top off, or it'll just roll to the side. What do I have in here? Okay, so I have random DIY stuff that has come in handy for me when I've needed to mend clothes. So I have a tape measure, sewing needles, sewing thread. What else? Okay, I have earplugs in here, and also more eye masks from different flights I've taken. I guess because I really value my sleep, that I have all these gadgets. Okay, windows. I have 2 of them that work, and I also have, I don't know if you can see, but I have one of those glass bubbles that makes rainbows when the sun hits it. Do you say now? It's projecting little rainbows throughout the room. Oh, do you see it now? Maybe. Okay. I also brought this with me from Shanghai to here, and my mom also has an identical one. So yeah, good memories. The windows open like this, which is good for like keeping the windows open even when it's raining. And they also open like this, which is cool. I've never seen that, so yeah. Okay. Well, also here you can see a view of the garden. I can look at the garden, but I can't go into it because, once again, I'm not allowed in any of the lower rooms that lead into the garden. There are fruit trees, and sometimes there are also cats that lounge back to. Also, sometimes garden spiders, really big ones, get in through the cracks in the window, and they freak me out. And then I try to murder them with stuff. So I guess that's a part of adulthood, is learning how to kill spiders on your own, because there's no one else that can deal with them except you. Well, I have a third window, but it doesn't close all the way. There's actually a gap here, so it gets really cold in the wintertime. So what I've had to do is I've kept the outside blinds permanently shut, in order to prevent some of the wind from getting in. This is a desk that I use for storage more than anything because, once again, I tend not to stay in this room. So what I have on this surface is basically just an amalgamation of all the medication that I have to take. And random shit like an X-Acto knife. Yeah. I have a trolley here. It's usually not here, it's usually on campus, but school is closed and I needed to pack. Same with these suitcases, they're usually not open, but once again, I'm packing to leave, so that's why they're here. Oh my god. Okay. Here we have the same 4 jackets that I've had for a couple years. So we have one for rainy weather, cold weather, literally when it's warm enough to wear anything else weather. My cousin gave me this scarf and also this bag. Very nice. So I initially found the room through a website that like a 同学 gave to me before we even stepped foot in France, before we actually saw each other in person. And so she suggested this website that was renting out rooms for students that were coming to Le Havre. So I found this room, I looked at the pictures, I thought they were nice. I emailed the landlady, secured the spot, and paid money and came here and really hoped that I wasn't gonna get scammed or murdered or whatever in this place, and thankfully that's worked out okay. I like the room. It's very luminous. I'm not sure if you've noticed. It's really bright and light, and also I like how the kitchen area is pretty big. I like to cook. I've learned that about myself. Yeah, I'm gonna miss this place when I'm gone.